Why are you hiding?
What?
Hey everyone, I'm TM Sparrow, writer and homeschooling mom, and today I'm going to show you 3 ways that I use Scrivener. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 different ways that I like to use Scrivener. I use it to draft my books, I use it to create story bibles, and I also use it to write and track my YouTube scripts. So you can see I'm starting with my book. This is the first book of my Children of Remus series. It's my current work in progress. It says Asylum, and I've been referring to it as Asylum, but I have decided that I'm going to be changing that name, so currently it is Untitled. But you can see I have a whole bunch of folders. We have a file for scene blocking, and inside that file are files for each individual chapter. And when you click on the chapter, you have the scene, which contains the scene blocking, which I have highlighted in black everything so that we don't have spoilers, because you can't give away the book before you've actually finished writing it. You can see I like to have my screen blocking over here, and then on the other side, which I usually keep bigger like this, I will bring up my document to actually write said scene. So I will have my scene blocking on one side so that I can see what I have planned to happen in my scene. And then on the other side, I will have my document where I can write the scene. I really like doing this way, and this is why I prefer to use Scrivener for my drafting instead of Novel Factory, because the side-by-side view is so helpful. It is way easier than having to click back and forth to try and remember what happens, and it saves a lot of paper to keep from printing out every scene summary so that you can have it right beside you while you're writing. That's just not going to cut it for me. I'm very lazy, and I like to keep things easy. Now, there are a bunch of other really cool tools that I like. Scrivener will actually compile your document for you. This is right here. So you can choose what you are going to have it use when it compiles. So I just make sure that I have my actual draft, which right now is just the first draft because I don't have a second draft yet. But you have that. You can go through and customize exactly how everything will format and what it's going to look like, and it's just really cool. And then you have all your different options as for how you're going to compile it. You can do it so that you can print it. You can do it so that you can just preview what it looks like. PDFs, rich text format, plain text, Word documents, open documents, web pages, final draft, and even Mobi files and EPUB files, which I have not tried, so I will not speak to how well that formats. So you have those options. You can also go here, you can set targets. I had a manuscript target of 90,000 words, but as you can see, there we go. This is my current word count of just my first draft, and I still have 4.5 chapters to go. You can also set a target for how many words you want to write each writing session that you have, which is really cool. You can set your goal and you'll know if you met it without actually having to keep track yourself. Like, you don't have to tally if you do writing sprints, you don't have to tally every word count total from your writing sprint and add all of that up. You don't have to type it all in a separate document to keep track of how many words you've written. It's just very clean and simple, and I love that. If you want a more in-depth look at your word count without comparing to what your goal is, you can use this project statistic. It takes a minute to load up, but you can see words, characters, how many, if I just straight print it from my printer, how many pages it would be, which we're at 500 right now. And then it estimates how many paperback pages your book would be. Obviously, these are not final totals because I am not done with my first draft and I still have editing to do, so very likely that this is going to change. And then you have all kinds of tools. You can check your spelling. You can go here in the writing tools. You have the dictionary, Google search, Wikipedia search, dictionary.com, thesaurus.com, brainyquotes.com. You can translate your manuscript to another language. I am not fluent in any other languages. I have never used this feature, so I can't tell you if this is a Google Translate deal that doesn't work very well or if it's actually really good. I don't know. But one of the tools that I do love is the name generator. So the name generator has so many options. You can choose male and female names, just female names, or male names. I'm very fond of female names, so let's say we're going with that. And you can look all kinds of origins. So let's say we're writing a story based in ancient Rome. An ancient Roman first name, and maybe we're combining this with some Greek culture, just to give you an idea. So, generate names. Well, now, look at this. So I can add it to my short list, and it will save it. Now, let's generate names again and get some different ones. And I like this one, and you can add it. So then you can copy it to one of your other files you have open, or append it to a section in another document. So there's also, you can look at name meanings. Obviously we can see we have a character named Lily in this story, so let's see. You can see her name. Lily, flower, pure. The flower lily is a symbol of innocence, purity, and beauty. And so you can get an idea of what a character's name means. Now let's say you wanted to look for a specific kind of meaning. You can search by in name meaning. And maybe I have a dancer character, so I want a name that means graceful. Oh well, Annabelle means beautiful, graceful, so that could work. But you can also see the origins of the name, whether it's a male or female name typically, and you can just scroll through. You see there's a lot of options here. So this can be a really useful tool if you're in a hurry to find a character's name. So let's say I have a female dancer, and maybe she is Vietnamese. This is a really great name. I like this name, so can't add that to my short list because I already have these names on there. But you can import your own custom names, which is super cool, and then you can just reset the defaults. So as you can see, when you're writing a book, Scrivener can be super useful. You have this scratch pad where you can make notes like add detail to Lily caught. And there we go. And so that's there. And then you can attach it to whichever section you need it on. Like I said, there's a lot of options. I don't even use all of the features that are in this software because there's just so much. So you can also look at word frequency right here. You can look at the word frequency for the section that you are currently working on. This could be a really useful tool when you are editing, and if you're looking for words that maybe you rely on a little too much. Gotta find and eliminate those crutch words. This would be a great tool for that. So the second way that I like to use Scrivener is to create story Bibles. So I'm going to give you guys a little look at my story Bible for my Riders of Illyria story. I am still in the world building on this, so this is not a complete story Bible, but it will give you an idea of how you can use Scrivener to create a story Bible. Now you can see I have a lot of files here. I will actually bring these down for you so that it's a little easier to see everything. So the file system in Scrivener makes it a really great resource for creating a digital story Bible. You can see I have a big file, my main file, with the name of the world, and I have used custom icons to make everything just look a lot nicer for me. If you want to use custom icons, what you do is you go onto whichever file or document you want the custom icon for, and you right click on it, and you come down here and it just says change icon. So you can see there are a lot of icons. These are standard icons that are preloaded into Scrivener, but you can see where I have added a lot of different ones. Not all of these are custom icons. Some of these came standard, but you know, werewolf, obviously that's me. The gender fluid symbol, that was me. But to upload your own, you go to manage icons, and then you can press the plus button, and it brings up your files so that you can select whatever icon you want to upload into the program. I love this. It is so cool. You can change the color by going to label, and you can choose no label to have no color on it, or, you know, pick this. You can edit so that everything is whatever color you want. So you can see I have files for everything. I have a file for characters, and in that file for characters, I have my dragon riders, other characters, the dragons, which I don't have any yet, and then my bad guys, which you can see, we have one antagonist here, Fabian Fandel, and I haven't quite figured out who my main baddie is going to be, so stay tuned, and eventually I will figure it out. So some other characters, these are not writers, but they are still secondary important characters, and the actual writers. So you can see I use the gender symbols to make it easy to tell at a glance what my characters' genders are, except for this one. When I figure out who the main villain is, I will be adding the symbol there. So aside from characters, you also have locations. So right now I only have cities. I don't really have any like country names, or maybe I'll come up with some towns that they'll visit, or maybe they'll go to some important mountains, or there might be a named forest or a lake. All of that I can add. I do know about the city of Westvale. This is where my first story takes place, or the second one, I forget. I have important events, including the backstory of everything. Obviously, I don't have a name for my bad guy, so we just have name. So that way I can keep track of important events. I can even arrange them in order of when they happened. Then we have the world building stuff, the mythology with the gods and goddesses, and even they have their own gender symbols. So I know if they're a god or a goddess, or both in the case of Varial, or agendered in the case of Vesper. Vesper has no gender. Still working on their personalities and their roles in the story, but I will probably eventually put in some myths and legends that maybe come up. We have how the magic works, the worldview about magic. I know that magic is a very big deal in this world. And then I have my races. I do not have descriptions for all of my races. And as you can see, there are a lot of races in Illyria, and I may or may not trim that down. I don't know. We shall see. Then we have the creatures, who are not official races. We may have vampires, we may have werewolves, we will have lesser dragons. They are more like lizards than actual dragons. Maybe some will be kind of like dinosaurs. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. The organizations in there. We have the Scarlet Talent, and I can tell you right now that I know of an important organization is the Knick-Knack Carnival of Merriment and Whimsy. They are a traveling carnival from one of the books. And then also in my story Bible, I keep track of the plot. These are the 2 novels that I know of that will be in the series. There will be more. We have maybe if there are novellas or side stories. This is a carryover from my Children of Remus story Bible, because there are side stories and novellas that I have planned for that series. Then I have a section for anything that I might need to research that I can put in here. And everything is just nice and neat and organized and pretty and I love it. This is another area where the name generator could be very useful, because if you want to name a character, all you have to do, if you're in a hurry, use that name generator. Then you can pop up some names very quickly. Now, the last way that I like to use Scrivener is for my YouTube videos. I use this to keep track of a lot of different things with my channel, actually. You can see some old ideas here that are in the trash now because they were trash ideas. These are some scripts that I have started, but I didn't like the way that they were going, so I put them to the side, and I may or may not come back to them at some point. Right now, they're not something I feel like I can really give information on. You can see I have a file for ideas. This is the idea of my channel when I first started coming up with everything for it. It's advice and point of view from a homeschooling mom and author, because that's who I am and that's what I want to share. Life as a homeschool mom who is trying to become a full-time writer also. And then I have investments, things that I have had to buy for my channel or things that I still need to buy. Don't really know if we need more backdrop decoration now, but that's there. And this is a list of ideas for topics, which I haven't really been using since I ran out on a lot of these. So then I have a section for my actual scripts. So you can see these are some more ideas that I haven't really done anything with yet, so they are not in a file. You can see down here I have last year's scripts. So you can see this, I used to time out my scripts to see how long they were going to be if I just read my scripts straight out. So you can see I just like to write my scripts here and I keep them. I have a main file for the year, and then I have sub files for each month. And right here's the current year. I have script ideas planned out through September. And if you have something that you would like to see me cover on this channel, let me know in the comments, because I am always looking for ideas and I love to get ideas from my subscribers, because this channel is for you and what I can do to help you guys learn. So what do you want to learn? If I don't know, I will do the research because I love to learn. Anyway, so you can see I did 3 videos in January. So I always look at my planner and see, well, there's this many Sundays in the month, how many videos do I need? There are obviously no videos in the May because I was on hiatus. I had considered doing a bonus Monsters and Mythology video early on in the month because I had to have delays on some of my videos. That ended up not happening because, yay, sciatica. But you can see in June, we had all of these lovely videos. We had a lot of videos for June. And then there's this month. You can see where I had all my documents where I write everything. And I like this because I can move things around. I had actually planned on reviewing a book for this week's video, but I did not finish reading it in time. So I swapped this Scrivener video, and hopefully I will be able to review that book for you next month, because I am about halfway done with it. I just didn't want to rush the book and not really give it a fair review. And if you would like to see, I think you guys would enjoy a little sneak peek at what we have coming next month. I am going to talk about the Werewolves of Ossory from Ireland. It's a really fun story, and I am re-releasing my Worst Advice for Parents video for multiple reasons. So I really love the organization, the ability to move things around. Like, it's just that easy. It's really great. So, and sometimes I accidentally put things in the wrong place and then I have to fix it, because that is life. Making mistakes, learning from them, and doing better. Or not doing better, because sometimes we struggle. So that's how I use Scrivener. You can tell me in the comments below what writing software you would like to see me try out next. And don't forget, you can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. And if you want to see more, then don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos on Sundays. See you next time.
Hi.
Smile real big, let him see you lost a tooth. Yeah, look at that.
So I just recently finished Percy Jackson, first book, the first one. It was awesome. Bye. You can put that in your outtakes.
Julie wants you to pet him. It's my buddy.
You should put that in your outtakes too. You should.
Okay. Hey everyone. You got your face on there. Alright, silly. Settle down so I can get one more take in. Hey everyone, I'm TM Sparrow, writer and homeschooling mom, and today... You were so close.
Okay. I'll try not to laugh anymore.
Okay. Hey everyone, I'm TM Sparrow.
I didn't mean to. Okay, I didn't mean to.
So, those... Bleh. Chewy, get off my shirt. You silly boy.
So it's time for me to come in.
Yes, time for you to come in.
Mario and Luigi.
Oh my goodness, you're getting so big.
Oh no. Okay. Oh no.
There you go.
I have to hold on to you.
Yep.